Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be a collab. I'm collabing with Jen from Jen Beauty. This is our second collab together. I love Jen. She's an amazing friend, an amazing creator. She does really fun things on her channel. She has an absolutely beautiful makeup collection, and I'm so glad that she and I connected here on this platform. And we had so much fun with our last collab that we decided we really wanted to do this again. And Jen came up with the biggest challenge that I've ever faced yet so far in my collab doing life. She said, do you have the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes? And I said, yes, I do. I have all of them except for the brown one, the waffle cone, I think it's called, or ice cream cone. And she said, I have all of them too. And she said, I have an idea. Why don't we do a palette bingo with all of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes that we have? And we'll just choose one shade at random out of each palette. And I'm like, okay, that is a doozy, but I am willing to give it a try. I'm willing to challenge myself. I don't know that I really understood what that challenge meant, but now I do. After randomly selecting these shades, I really have a full picture on how challenging this is going to be. And Jen did not want to break tradition. She said, I want you to randomly select the shades. So I'm going to show you what shades I randomly selected out of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes that I own. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Bubblegum palette. And out of this palette, I selected this shade right here called Bubbles. It's kind of this bright blue matte. Now we're going to go to the Orange Sorbet palette. And out of this palette, I randomly selected this shade right here called Extra Toppings. Kind of this hot orangey red shade. It's a matte. Okay, now going on to the Cotton Candy palette. Out of this palette, I selected this shade right here called Sugar. It's kind of a pinky lavender shifting shimmer. Oh boy. Then we have the Pistachio palette. And out of this palette, I randomly selected this shade right here called Sweet Life. It's this beautiful greenish, goldish shimmer, kind of glittery shimmer. It's not really glitter, but it kind of looks glittery in the pan. It's amazing. But yeah, don't really know what I'm going to do here yet. And then the last palette is the Cherry on Top. And out of this one, I randomly selected this shade right here called Sprinkles. This kind of, I don't know, burgundy reddish matte. Yeah, those are the 5 shades that we're going to be using for our palette bingo collab today. So I have swatched the color story here on my arm for you guys. Yes, this is the color story that we have to play with for our collab today. And I have no idea yet what I'm going to be doing with these shades. No idea at all. I kind of maybe think I might know what to do, but yeah, I don't know. I love these shades. I love the mattes and the shimmers. I love every shade in those palettes. They are just so amazing. And I'm really excited to do this, but I'm a little nervous. So if you guys are ready to see this look come together with me using all of these shades from all of these different Sweet Shop palettes from BH Cosmetics for my palette bingo collab with Jen, then please, oh gosh, sit back. Can we relax? Let's try it. And let's get started. All right, let's get started with this look for my palette bingo collab with Jen using all of these BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes. It's a good thing we're only using one shade out of each palette. If we were using more than that, I would probably just sit here and cry the whole time. Now I do have my brows done, and this eyelid is primed in the P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor 01. I decided not to put any of my face makeup on until afterwards because I wasn't really sure about fallout here. And I'm going to start off with this palette. This is the Bubblegum palette, and this is the first time I've ever used this before, and I'm really excited to finally be using it. And like I said, I did select this shade here called Bubbles, and I'm going to put that in my outer V and into my transition area. Oh boy, wish me luck. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. We'll see. And I kind of think I know what I'm going to do with the rest of the shades, but I'm not exactly positive yet, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to start laying this down out here and just kind of blending that into my transition area a little bit. And I'm very excited to see what Jen is going to do. It was so funny. When I sent her the shades on Instagram, I DM'd those to her, and she said something like, do I hate my life right now? I'm like, well, I'm not sure what we're gonna do here, but I think we can do it. I think we can pull it off. We'll see. This is a very different color story than I have ever used, I think, ever in my life using makeup. I don't think I've ever put these shades together necessarily, ever. Pretty sure I never have. So we'll see. And this is a really nice matte. It's a really nice matte. I mean, all of these palettes are really cool. I mean, I knew I was going to like this palette too. I will be using this on my channel again. I really want to start doing like battling palettes, like Battle of the Pastel palettes or Battle of the Blue palettes or whatever. And this is getting onto my lid a little bit, but that's okay, because I'm going to be covering that with a shimmer. I just can't decide which shimmer yet. We'll see. But I thought it would be really fun to like battle palettes, you know, like kind of pit them against each other. Use one palette on one eye and the other palette on the other eye, just to see, well, what we think. See which palette we like better. Now I'm going to go into the Sweet Shop Cotton Candy palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here, this shade called Sugar, and put that across my lid. And then I think I'm going to do the red and the orange on the lower lash line. And I love the shimmers in the Cotton Candy palette. They're just so beautiful. This one's really cool. It's kind of like a pink to purple flip. It's really interesting and really pretty. And yeah, I think, I don't know, it's hard for me to say because I love all of these palettes, but really, I think the shimmers in this one might be my favorite. But you know, I love the Pistachio palette too. I mean, that's my favorite green palette that I own. It's my favorite Sweet Shop palette that I own. But man, I really like these shimmers. Now I'm trying to figure out what to use for my lower lash line, the waterline shade. I have this little roll here of my ColourPop Cream Gel liners, and boy, I do not know what to use because I'm going to be using the red and the orange on my lower lash line. And then I think what I'm going to do is pop that green shade from the Pistachio palette in my inner corner. So I think what I'm going to do today is, gosh, this is so hard because any of these are going to look a little funky with the upper shades and the lower shades. Oh God, I don't know what to do. You know what? I think I'm going to go with this shade here. This is kind of a reddish purple shade. This is called Joyride. I'm going to put this in my waterline. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to see what Jen does here. Okay. Because I think this will go kind of well with that reddish shade, I hope, from the Cherry on Top palette. So I put some concealer down here so I could do my lower lash line with you guys. And I'm going to start off with this shade here called Sprinkles from the Cherry on Top palette. And I'm going to put this towards the outer part of the lower lash line, probably about midway across there. And I like this shade because it's kind of purpley. And so I think it kind of, you know, sort of matches what's going on the upper lid there. I don't know. I think what I might do too, actually, this might be kind of fun, is to grab the Bubblegum palette. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of just a blue blending out there with that Sprinkles shade, just to kind of incorporate the blue on the lower lash line too. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go with it. We'll see what happens here. And then I am going to pop a little bit of that orange shade towards the front, and that's going to look pretty weird, I have a feeling. But you know what? That's all we're going to do today, guys. That's all we have to choose from. That looks kind of murky, but I kind of like how it looks. I mean, you know, it's kind of gotten more purpley and the blues down there. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let me grab the orange Sorbet palette. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to put this shade right here, Extra Toppings, towards the front part of the lower lash line. Let me grab my brush here. God. Oh, you guys, am I really going to do this? Yes, I am really going to do this. Okay, let's see here. Huh. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this is so funny. Oh, geez. I cannot wait to watch Jen's video. I wish she and I were doing this in the same room together, although I don't think any makeup would be being put on. I think we would just be laughing hysterically the entire time. I mean, you know, it's a look, that's for sure. It is a look. I mean, I kind of like it with the Sprinkles shade from the Cherry on Top palette. I don't know if I should have put that blue down there. That kind of looks a little weird, but you know, I did it. So I'm not going back now. Okay, now I'm going to be doing the inner corner shade, and I think, you know what I might do? I might pop a little bit of this right under my brow too. I mean, why not? Let's go for it. All right, so this is the Sweet Life shade that I chose from this palette. Let me grab my little inner corner brush here. Okay. Here we go. And I am going to spray this because this is kind of a flakier shimmer. I love the shimmer. I think this is my favorite shimmer in this palette. It's really, really pretty. It's almost kind of like glittery looking. I mean, there's no glitter in it at all, but it just kind of looks a little glittery. So let's see here. Oh yeah, that's nice and green. Mm-hmm, sure is. Oh my God. So funny. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this Sweet Life. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. And I'm going to put it a little bit underneath my brow. Yeah, okay. See what we think here. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with this eye look. This is an eye look, boy, let me tell you. So I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna do the other eye, apply the rest of my face makeup, do the finishing touches, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Keep your fingers crossed. I am back, and this is the finished look. Now, while this might not be my most favorite look that I've ever done on my channel, it isn't. The thing that was so cool about this is that it really made me just sit down and play with eyeshadows. And I don't know that I've done that in a really long time. I mean, you know, obviously I film videos and I do palette bingos and create looks with different palettes. But I mean, I remember when I first got into makeup, I would just sit down and just play with different colors and see what I thought of them together. And if I didn't like it, then I'm like, okay, I won't do that again. And if I loved it, then, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do that again. You know, and so I just haven't done that in a really long time. So this really made me feel kind of like a little kid again. It was really fun to just sit down and, you know, pull these shadows out and play with them, put them on my lid. I don't know that I put them in the right spots, but you know what? Who cares? The thing about makeup is it's creative, it's fun. I mean, it's what's supposed to be anyway. And I think sometimes as creators, I mean, I'm just kind of speaking for myself here. I don't really want to speak for anybody else, but I'm sure some of you might be able to relate to what I'm going to say. We get really caught up in it being perfect. You know, it has to be perfect. The shades have to be perfect and blended out perfectly, and they have to be put just in the perfect spot on the lid. And I think part of that is because there's just this unattainable standard that we're all trying to reach. And, you know, I don't know that any of us ever reached the pinnacle. And where is the pinnacle? Is there a pinnacle? I don't know. I could go on and on and on about this for hours. But my point is, I'm really happy that I was just able to sit down and play with these shades. But before I talk about the palettes again, I did want to go over a couple things quickly that I used in my finished look. For my lips, I used the She Glam liquid lipstick in the shade Haters. I just decided to go with a toned down kind of neutral lip color. You know, if I'd been a little bit more brave, I would have gone, you know, a little bit more bold with my lip color. But I felt like my eyes were bold enough, so I just went with something that was a little bit more safe. I love this liquid lipstick, very nice formula. And then for my mascara, I used the Banger Mascara from Makeup Mecca. This was sent to me from Sweden from my beautiful friend Linda. And I love this. It's so amazing. The wand and the formula is very similar to the Essence mascaras, or at least the False Lash Effects mascara that I use all the time. Great dupe for that. I almost think I might like this better. It's a wonderful mascara. And then for my eyeliner on my upper lid, I used the Ciate London Fierce Flicks in black. And the reason why I did that was just I wanted something on my lid that made me feel safe and secure. So I picked this one. And I used all 5 of these palettes in my look today, one shadow from each palette. And Jen came up with this idea. I think I already said that at the very beginning. And at first I was terrified. I mean, I literally was like sweating. I was so nervous to sit down and film with all these palettes, all these different shades, because I couldn't figure out how to put them together. And I don't know that I put them together in the right way, but this is what I came up with. And it was just fun. It was fun to finally just sit down and play with some eyeshadows. Yes. And I cannot wait to watch Jen's video and see what she did with all these palettes. All of these palettes are amazing. They're beautiful. The shimmers and the mattes, the formula is incredible. I just really hope that Makeup Revolution, now that they've taken over BH Cosmetics, will continue to make palettes that are that good, because those, I don't know, those might be the best BH Cosmetics palettes I've ever used. Jen, thank you so much for doing this collab with me. This was a great challenge. I will have Jen's channel and her video linked in my description box. I really encourage you guys to go check out her channel if you have not already. Subscribe, watch her videos. You are going to love her just as much as I do. I know you will, and I cannot wait for our next collab. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It always means the world to me. If you have subscribed or you would like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. I cannot wait to see you guys again on my next video. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I can't wait to see you again. Thanks so much, you guys. Take care. Bye.
Drop it.